All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there laboring and doing this work in truth and sincerity. And as we see now, watching, the daily news, the topic of discussion has been race. And what I mean by that is now Esau, Edom, okay, they're basically making everything politically correct. Okay, they're basically stating that being a racist is a shameful thing. You see, the mojo is wearing off here in Babylon. And Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but chiefly right now, you Negroes are standing up and having a voice and getting things off your chest. Now, one example is the NFL. I want to speak upon the NFL real quick because it was a shameful thing to basically kneel when the national anthem was being played. And the owners basically told players, listen, if you guys kneel, you may be out of a job or you may be blackballed like Colin Kaepernick was. And a lot of Jakes were fearful of losing that bag, so to speak, losing their job as an NFL player. So a lot of them, even though they had the same beliefs as Colin Kaepernick, they did not kneel. But fast forward now to where the Mojo, okay, the enchantments against Israel, all right, and it's only for a certain dispensation of time that this was going to go on. And this is the start of the deterioration of their kingdom, because now you have in all of their history, okay, come out in the open. That history of rape, robbery, and murder is coming right back up into their face, and they are having to address it now. You see a lot of these Confederate statues that are being taken down, and there was one statue in particular, I believe it was General Lee, E. Lee. His statue was taken down. I believe it's one of the Confederate generals that was taken down, and he was actually on a horse. But you actually see the whole statue being hoisted away, him with the horse, and that horse really represents power, and Esau is being broken down. This is all of the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and this is a beautiful thing to see. This man is losing his kingdom. He's losing his stance amongst the nations. His shameful spewing is beginning to show rear its ugly head. His ugly history is being out in full display. Jake is being more conscious. And this is all planned by the left, so to speak, to really try to cause that civil unrest, that actual civil war. Okay, the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And Jake is really going to get caught up in the middle of that because they're not privy to Esau's tactics, man. Because you have these regular Joe six-pack E's that are basically on the sidelines, and they're being infuriated by this politically correctness. But I want to read the definition of politically correct. It's an adjective. If you say that someone is politically correct, you mean that they are extremely careful not to offend or upset any group of people in society who have been a disadvantage or who have been treated differently because of their sex, race, or disability. And This is what you're seeing now. Everybody's starting to be politically correct against what you want to call so-called racism against the so-called Negro, man. And this is all the spirit of the Lord that's being pushing this forth, and it's being pushed forth in the mainstream media. This is basically deteriorating their supremacy that they always had, that stronghold. And this is a well-funded movement that's going on right now. All right, and it's done by design. But nevertheless, it's the fall of their kingdom. All right. But the first scripture I want to bring out, and I'm gonna probably go through most of this. This is a beautiful chapter, and brothers already know, but we're seeing the times now to where these scriptures are actually really applying. We actually see the prophecy happening. We see the counsel of the Lord springing forth. And this is Isaiah chapter 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. And this is the daughter of Babylon here. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. And just like I said with the statue that was being hoisted away or taken down, it was actually the general that was on top of the horse being taken away. And these people are infuriated, man, because they're trying to preserve their wicked history, and it just to show you that they're not the chosen people, because they're not reverencing the true men that need to be reverenced, okay, which is the patriarchs, the prophets, okay, those are the ones that they need to be reverenced, man. But we're reverencing them, you see. Okay, those are our forefathers. Our forefathers were holy men. But back to the topic. There's no more throne. We're seeing it being chipped away. We're seeing the supremacy being chipped away. And it's really just going to lead, okay, to when the demonization comes for the prophets, and it's really going to wake Jake up, because I can attest for myself and a lot of other of the Akim that before you heard this truth, you were somewhat conscious about things that were going on, and really this is how you're gonna see a multitude of men rising up, okay, and coming into this truth. Because why? It's because they are being more conscious now about certain things, and then once they hear this word, it all is going to make sense, man. And it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But there's no more throne, right? O daughter of the Chaldeans. For there shall be no more be called tender and delicate. And this is really becoming a shithole, so to speak. And this man is losing his grip on things. All of his future endeavors and his plans are spiraling out of control. He's losing touch with a lot of what he's trying to accomplish. You see, right? Take the millstones and grind mill. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the dye, pass over the rivers. And we're basically exposing this man for what it is. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, this word is what brings it all back home, man. Right now you're having Jake's rising up on a so-called conscious level, to really being able to speak out, and there's no repercussions of it being rendered. Okay, you see, they're letting them have free range to speak their mind, so to speak. Okay, there's no account of our labors, but now you're having Jake that's using this as a talking point. Okay, and it's all to really get them in that conscious mindset. The scriptures talk about who shall rise them up. It's a process to that. We have to understand. Okay, the Lord can do it with the just like that, by His word. of waking up his men, okay? Which are the elect, the potential elect, the hopeful elect, you know? But this is being done in a process. How the Lord is saying that it shall come to pass. Though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come. Roughly paraphrasing, you know? But we're uncovering this place. This place is being uncovered. The shameful history of this place is being uncovered. Okay? It's being made inquisition of. And they're not running away from it, because now it's time to address it and answer it. You see? Right? The true freedom of speech is really starting to sprout out, you know? And the lies are beginning to be exposed. Okay? And they're going to continue to be exposed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know? Right? Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. And really, that's through the spirit of the mouth, right? And I will take vengeance and will not meet thee as a man. And the brightness of his coming. You know, the brightness of Yahushua is coming. Okay? With basically chanting this place down, so to speak. You know? That whole witchcraft and mojo is wearing off. You know? Because it's been taking a hold of the minds of the people. You know? You went from physical shackles to mental shackles. You know? And via Christianity. And that's a hell of a drug. You know? To put our people in a inducive state, you know, of just being shell shocked and walking in this sinful kingdom, you know, right? And it says, for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, you know, and the Lord of armies, man, is what's going to deliver us, you know, ultimately, you know. But there's a process to this place going and sitting in the dust, you know. This is all of confusion, you know, right? Sit thou silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt be no more called Lady of Kingdoms, you know. And this is a real shithole. This is what this place has became, you know. Walking around with this order of wearing a mask over your face in 90-degree weather is bizarre. That is a bizarre behavior, you know. And they have the whole world in a frenzy over their BS, man, you know. But it's being exposed on all levels. You see, right? Verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance. And the Lord was so mad at his people, okay, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that he polluted your whole existence amongst the nations, okay? Because now we're diminished to being a byword, okay? A laughing stock, a gazing stock, you know, a reproach. This is what we've been diminished to. Right? And the Lord actually polluted his inheritance. Because you have heathens now that are taking on our inheritance, man. So to speak. Okay? They're claiming to be us. Okay? The true children of Israel. You see? That's being polluted to an abominable people, to have them to be thought of being the Lord's people in this time. You see? This is how polluted the Lord our inheritance has been. You know? We're supposed to be the beauty of perfection. Okay? But we've been diminished to being snared in holes, man. Okay? In these slums and in ghettos and hoods, you know? Great disparity, you know? Just being on the bottom. Being that tail. You see? But he said, I was wroth for my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Okay, we have been given into our oppressor's hand, and we're still in their hands. You know, we still have to deal wisely, even though we see this place falling, even though we see this place deteriorating and crumbling. Okay, we still have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. You actually, do the Spirit have front row seats to the destruction of this place? You know, and it says, "Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid thy yoke." You know, and there's been no mercy shown upon us, even when we tried to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, so to speak. You know, they didn't want us in no type of prosperity. And the burning down of Tulsa, okay, Oklahoma, that was one example. Okay, Rosewood is another one. You know, where we were being prosperous. They don't want that. They want us to be on the bottom, and that's it. There was no mercy being shown upon us. You know, and we have a president that uses his Twitter account as a very divisive tool to rally up, to rally his base of people of like-minded like him. You know, this is all gonna be a bad accident waiting to happen. We're on a collision course with the destruction of this place. We're actually seeing it coming through the Spirit. You know, the civil war. You know, the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's basically what we're going to see here. Right? Verse 7. "And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So shalt thou did not lay these things to heart, neither did thou remember the latter end of it." You know, and they're doing things to where they haven't considered the consequences of what they're doing. You know, there's no way that you are going to continue to rule when the kingdom is divided. You know, that kingdom shall not stand. It's impossible for that place to stand when it's divided. You know, where is the love that you people been preaching? You see, there's a season for all things. You know, and love is not one of them right now. Okay, you can't even paint a narrative of love right now if they wanted to. The mojo is gone. The enchantments are wearing off. The witchcraft is basically running out of steam, man. You know, and it says, "Therefore, hear now this: thou art given into pleasures that dwelleth carelessly." You know, and this place indulges in its heart's desire. You know, the best foods, the best delicacies. You know, the highest quality of raiment. You know, the highest quality of auto machines. You know, the best strong drink and wine. The nothing but the best is being consumed in this place. You see? You know? And you dwell carelessly. Okay? You know? This is the land of unwalled villages, man. You know? Right? But you dwell carelessly, that sayest in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. You know? And meanwhile, while havoc is going on around the world, this place has been sitting pretty for a very long time. But now, as the saying goes, the chickens are coming home to roost. You know, and we're basically going on the cusp of seeing that right before our eyes. You know, verse 9. "But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: loss of children and widowhood. they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. You see? And you can't curse what is blessed, you know? And the perfection of this destruction is when the Lord's going to put his spirit upon those thermonuclear missiles. They shall not break their rank. Okay? They're going to be in perfect order and carrying out the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You see? Right? For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. You know, through sorcery and these secret councils that you continue to have. Thou hast said, none seeth me. And you're being exposed on every level. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And you have a real perverted understanding of history. All right? I'm talking about these lowercase devils that are walking around and you're feeling some kind of way. And what are you really defending at the end of the day? Okay? A flag? Okay? You surely can't be defending this rat hole, because you're going to get caught up in the midst of this whole thing as well. Okay? There is nothing here to preserve. Okay? We're in a new normal. Okay? A new normal that is not even desirable for anybody when you really look at it. You see? This new way of living is a bizarre way of living. And it's going to continue to go downhill from here. You see? But now you trusted in your wickedness and has said that nobody seeth you, man. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. You know? And you have a certain dispensation of time to rule the earth, to set up your puppet governments in these different countries and take the resources of these places. You know? Right? Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it ariseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. You know, and the plans that you have set up are going to quickly spiral out of control. You see? You have a deadline to meet, and you're falling short of it. You're going to have to come down with great wrath. You know, you're going to have to really show yourself of who you really are. Okay? People's true colors are coming out now. All right? This is why we're in a time of hate. You're seeing it. You can't deny it. Okay? In Akim, you gotta have your head on swivel, man, and stay in the spirit, man, because there's a lot of demons that's gonna be out here, man. You know, even when you're in your comings and goings and travelings, you know, just be mindful and just stay in the spirit. You know, remember that this is a carnal man. You understand? He is a carnal man and he's a weak man. All right. His blessing of the sword is that handicap that the Lord gave him. You see? This man ain't shit without that. Okay? That's his handicap. All right? We are just naturally just stronger. We're just naturally just better than everybody. Okay? Even in our lowest estate. You see? And the Lord is with us. Right? Getting back. Right? But you're not going to be able to put this off, man. You're not going to be able to put off this chaotic madness that has been stirred up, man. Okay? And on top of that, people are not going to listen to what you have to say. Your respect is quickly being lost. People are really waking up, man. The nations are waking up. Okay? You see? And councils are being set up as we speak now against you, okay, around the world. You're so focused now on the home front that you're not even fully engaged in your foreign policies, okay? You see? You can't be in multiple places at one time. You can't do it. You're spreading yourself thin. You see? Right? But you will not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You see? On all fronts. You know? And people have, the nations have a front row seat at your shameful spewing. That's coming upon your glory. You see? The place that everybody figured that they had all put together is coming to an end. You see? It's coming to an end. You know? You see? This thing is spiraling out of control. We see it through the spirit of it happening. You know? You're trying to get a grip on things. All right? You have people that you want to comply to your wicked endeavors, man. You see? Okay? Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. And this has always been your thing, okay? Of enchantments and sorcery and witchcraft, you know? That's been really working on the minds of the people and having these people in a robotic stupor. You know? I'm trying to think of the type of word that you can use for the minds of these people, man. You know? But through the spirit, the Lord is making you jakes out there, man, more conscious. Okay? You know, and really starting to have an introduction fully into this truth. You have to have a starting point. You know? Very rarely does the Lord take somebody that's from a very simple state to just wake them up like that. The Lord can do whatever he wants to do. But usually, like men, like the Akim, okay, we've became conscious first, okay, before we were introduced to this truth. And it was a smoother transition for us because why? When we heard this word, it all made sense. Okay? It was that refreshing, you know? That nice cold glass of iced water, you know, in a dry, weary land, and getting that drink of that cold water to where it just rejuvenates your whole body and soul, you know. But it says, stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so, if thou shalt mayest prevail. You know, so the Lord's basically telling you to continue with your sorceries to see if it's going to work, though. But your mojo is wearing off. We see it. Just by the fact now that being racist is now being politically incorrect, you know, or they're trying to be politically correct about things that they're doing, you know, and the shamefulness of the history of this place. You see, you know, it's wearing off. Okay, the shackles, the mental shackles are being loosened. Okay, that's basically what we're seeing now. Right, verse 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. You know, these little secret meetings and round tables and how to do this and how to do that and how to manipulate the minds of the people and to how to, you know, if we do this, this will happen, you know? Okay? Putting out these little studies and showing human reaction and human behavior and how you do one thing and how this could control this sector of people, you know? You're wearied in that. You see? You have to constantly keep thinking of ways to get this thing rolling, man. You see? Right? Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly procrastinators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. And you can't put off these prophecies. And that's basically what they're trying to do. You see? They're trying to buy time. They're trying to put off and upset these prophecies, man. You're basically the axe boasting against the hewer. Right? Behold, they shall be as stubble, and fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor a fire to sit before it. You see? And this is going to be the ultimate judgment. Right? Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. And this is why they have these bunkers that are set up. Okay. This is how they're trying to find their little enclave. Okay, to protect them from this oncoming destruction. You see? The nations are going to be at war with the destruction of this place, man. Right? Next precept I want to get is let's go to Jeremiah 49. Let's start at 7. Concerning Edom, thus say Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? And really, everything that they're doing is really working against them. The counsel that they have is really a stumbling block to them. They're not using any type of wisdom of how to rule. They're losing that battle. The people are rising up and becoming more rebellious towards this setup that's here, man. And this whole chapter is concerning Edom, right? Verse 8. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Easter upon him, the time that I will visit him. And inquisition is being made, okay, on all levels. You see? And the ultimate inquisition will be that judgment, man. That imminent destruction that's coming. Thus say the scriptures. Right? Verse 9. If gate gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaming grapes? If thieves by night, will they destroy till they have enough? And they're still destroying till they don't have enough. They can never have enough. They're trying to heap up treasures for the last days, man. They're basically amassing all of the resources of the world. You see? Right? But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. You see? His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, and he is not. And hey, Canada, okay? You're not out of this either, man. Okay? For what you have done to the so-called indigenous tribes, okay? Chiefly the tribe of Gad, okay? There's a recompense to pay for that. But your whole seed is spoiled, man. Okay? This is how you know all of them think the same way. You see? They all think the same way. Because if they was in power, they would be doing the exact same thing. Okay? From the top levels all the way down to the lowercase devils. You see? Okay? And these lowercase devils are being riled up, man. This is why they're arming themselves to the teeth, man. Because there's a carnal damn man. You see? A carnal damn man. All right? You see? Let's see how much that those weapons profit you, man. You see? Verse 12. For thus say Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. You know, and that's our first estate, okay, was to be set up on high. And we were not supposed to drink this cup, but hey, through our going away from the Lord, backsliding and angering him, we have drunken of that cup, man. You know? You see? And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. So you really, truly are going to drink of that cup. Okay? Because we weren't supposed to drink of that cup, though, but we have drunken of it, though. And then everything that you have put upon us, though, you think that you're not going to go unpunished? You will surely go unpunished. Okay? You see? Right? For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. And all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. You see? And Edom, okay, is synonymous with Babylon. Okay? You can't get around that. Okay? You see? People want to run away from that label of Edom, okay? But then you try to run away from, well, what about the destruction of Babylon? Okay? You see? The two are married together. You see? That's what's going on here. Right? I have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and the ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to battle. And you're seeing that even to this day. That basically they're making alliances, man. Okay? Iran, China, Russia. You see? They're making alliances with these other countries, man. These other nuclear countries, the other countries that have nuclear capability. Okay? You see? You have India, Pakistan. You know, these countries have these weapons as well. You know? Okay? For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And you really on a low level. You are on a low number compared to the whole world. You see? All right? You're really outnumbered terribly. You know? In the lie, oh, you only make up 12% of. Well, listen, no, we need not count all the tribes. Okay? E with his pseudoscience and his always got these numbers. You know, he pulls these numbers out of his ass. You see? Jeremiah 49:16. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. You know, and Edom is synonymous with Babylon, like I was saying. You know, you can't get away from it. You can't run away from it. You know, okay, you are the chief dwellers of Babylon, but then you try to run away from the word Edom. You know, it is what it is. You know, and the reason why you just can't see it is because you're not spiritual. You know, you were not built to be a spiritual man. You know, speaking upon E, you know, you are that wicked one that the scriptures talk about, and the world is going to find out. Okay, because you're showing your hand right now. All right, and you're going to have no choice but to come from behind the curtain. You know, even though it's already being lifted up. You see? But it's going to be ultimately in plain sight, and we're starting to see remnants of that now. Okay? You see? You know, but the pride of your heart have deceived you. You know? You sit at the height of the hill. You know, you are the chief of the nations now. chiefly Amalek, you know, which run this world. You know, you set up your puppet governments and these other different various countries and take their resources, you know, and basically you have the minds of the people, man. But you're starting to see the turning over of it. You're seeing that great divide, okay? You know, the left against the right. You see, that's basically what's going on now. You know, and the kingdom divided shall not stand. How can it? Satan against Satan. You see, you know, right? But it talks about it now, right? Also, Edom shall be a desolation. You see, right? Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished. Okay, that's in the book of Revelation, talking about the fall of Babylon. Synonymous with Edom. You can't get away from it. And shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. You know? And the plagues are coming. You know? As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. You know? And just making this place a great wilderness, man. You know? How Sodom and Gomorrah to this day is a desolation. Okay? So be it to Edom in Babylon. Okay? Right? Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. It's talking about Yahweh Shai. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? And who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that shall stand before me? You see? Right? Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You know? And the least of the flock really is really the first of the nations, which is Amalek. You know? They're gonna get pulled in on that other side, man. And they're gonna have to address this upcoming World War III. You know? They got their sights focused on here in Babylon now, on the domestic front, you know, which is basically spiraling out of control and deteriorating, you know. But you know, the upper elites think that the deterioration of this place is to their advantage, but it's to the contrary, you know. It's gonna rise no more. You see? Okay, right? The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, at the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. So meaning that the downfall of this place, okay, all right, how the earth will be moved with these thermonuclear ballistic missiles, okay, will be heard. The cry will be heard all the way from the Red Sea. Okay? So now we're talking about destruction on this side, on the Western Hemisphere, to be heard all the way to the Red Sea. You see? Right? And this is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon. All right? Behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle and spread his wings over Basra. And at the day, and at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of woman in her pangs. You see that? Okay? So, you know, the mighty men here are going to cry like women, you know, in travail. And that's the ultimate setup, okay? That's the ultimate setup. But we're actually seeing the demise, okay, of that supremacy, okay? And you're seeing the unlocking of the shackles on the mind. You see? We're starting to see it, you know? And amongst that, we're going to have the elect come out of that. You see? All right? And usually it comes with that conscious thought first. Being conscious about things going on around you. Being conscious of so-called social issues is really how you get introduced to the truth, you know? And like I said before, a lot of Akim, that's how they came into this thing, you know? Of just being conscious of certain things. And then when you heard this word, it's going to make all sense. So whatever move E does, it's like he's in quicksand. You see? You want to try to demonize his truth, but guess what? The Lord's going to set up that standard, and you are further cutting down your time, and also truth is going to be introduced to the elect. You see? Okay? Because that's the main point. That's the main point of this whole movie. Is the elect waking up. Okay? You see? That remnant. You know? Alright, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Akim that's out there laboring and doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.